Jessica, and this is My Happy Life. I just wanted to share with you today how I make our dog's food. We feed her the raw diet, and I'm not here to debate with you whether the raw diet's good or not. I've done my research, and it works for us, and if it doesn't work for you, that's totally fine. But I wanted to show you what we do. So first of all, I feed her 5 to 8% her body weight because she's a growing puppy. When she's a full-grown adult, it'll be 2% of her body weight. And I divide up the percentage of what she eats like this. 70% is meat and bones, including fish, ground beef, chicken with bones, and so on. Then 10% is liver, chicken liver, and 20%, which is the remaining, is dairy and vegetables and fruit and that sort of thing. Maybe eggs. So watch me as I make 8 meals, which I thought would go further, but she's a growing girl and getting so big, so it actually didn't go very far. 8 meals is only 4 days worth of food since she eats 2 meals a day. So here we go. All right, so we're gonna start by cutting up the chicken quarters. I use this nice strong cleaver, sharp cleaver, to get through the bones. And I only really cut it up for her because I want to make sure I portion it well. She can chew through the bones just fine. She's been able to chew through the bones just fine since she was tiny. Okay, now I set out my bowls. I didn't know how many it would make, so I just laid a bunch out. And I use my scale. I make sure this is a very precise thing. I want to make sure I give her the right amount, not too much, not too little, because I want the best for my girl. So I just put chickens out, make sure I weigh it fine. You'll see me kind of adjust as I go, figure out what makes sense. All right, so here I am opening the livers, but I realize, wait, I have to finish my meat first. I always weigh that first. So I'm gonna let the liver set aside, and I'm gonna think about what meat do I want. So right now I'm straining a can of mackerel, which is fish. She loves this. This is why her coat is so shiny and gorgeous. Not only because she's eating great food, but because she's eating this great mackerel. Now I'm realizing I don't have enough meat. She's eating a lot more meat than I thought, so I didn't have enough chicken. So I went to the freezer to get some ground beef from one of the last times I made her meals. And I'm not even really defrosting it. I just want to get it so that I can chop it with a cleaver. And then I'll distribute it frozen, and it'll defrost in the fridge as we go before I give it to her. And actually, if it's still a little bit frozen, she doesn't mind at all. She can get through it and she loves it. That one piece was giving me such a hard time. It was so frozen. I ran into some warm water in it, did just fine. Here it goes. This process is not quiet. Now I'm going back to finishing up that can of mackerel. I would have added more of that, but I only had that one can left. I went ahead and ordered some more after this. And now I'm realizing I have 2 bowls left, and I still don't quite have enough. Even with those packages of ground beef. So I'm going to the freezer. I don't really see anything. I'm gonna go check the other freezer. Found a piece of salmon. So I put the salmon in and all my meat is done. Now I'm gonna work on the liver, and that is 10% of her meal. So I'm measuring out 2 ounces of liver for each meal. It's really fun to make her meals because it reminds me of when Kara was a toddler, and I would just make all these really healthy plates for her, all kinds of food that is just so good for her. And she would just eat it. She just loved everything I gave her. And she was just so healthy and growing strong. And that's like my puppy. She loves every single thing I give her, just loves it. And I get to make all of this healthy stuff for her. I just love knowing exactly what's going in her little body. All right, so now we're done with the liver, and it's time for that last percentage, which is 20% of her food is gonna be dairy and fruit. You see I do yogurt and blueberries. And then when I run out of my blueberries, I'm gonna switch to green beans from a can. But every one of them gets yogurt. The only yogurt that she can eat is the full fat, plain yogurt. All right, so I'm writing on the yogurt thing. This is Raven's yogurt. I don't want any of the other food in there with it. Put it back in the fridge. Now I'm using Clorox wipes because you saw all that raw meat I was handling, and I take salmonella very seriously. So I am totally cleaning up. Yes, those are real marble countertops, so I probably shouldn't use Clorox wipes, but I don't care because it's worth it to kill the germs. And then after, you'll see I'll spray the good marble cleaner stuff. So first I get the germs off, and then I take care of the marble. All right, loading up the dishwasher with the knife and the fork and spoon that I used for the yogurt and green beans, and now I'm using Clorox wipes on the cutting board before I use the dish soap. Just want to make sure I get all of that raw meat. Another Clorox wipe for the countertop around the sink because I'm in and out of the sink as I'm working with the raw meat. And of course, in the sink too. Throwing it in the trash that I have sitting out so I don't have to keep touching the handle in and out of the trash handle. Using that spray for my marble. And now we'll wash out the sink one more time. All right, so one package of chicken used to last at least a week, so at least 14 meals for her. But the older she gets, the more she eats. I didn't realize that now we're up to only 4 days worth from one package of chicken. So I got some more chicken today. I'll be making more meals later, but it makes sense to me to do at least a week's worth, because if I'm gonna do all that cleaning of the kitchen and pull out the scale and all that, then I usually like to do a week's worth. Not more than a week's worth, because I don't want to worry about it going bad or have to freeze it and then pull it out. It works in the freezer fine, but my husband's the one who feeds her and I don't want him to mess with defrosting it and is it ready in time and all that. So thanks for checking in with me today, and it was great to see you. I hope you have a great day, and Merry Christmas.